And joining us now here on Market Talk, excited for this conversation. It's that time of year during the fall where we want to think about a lot of our drainage in our fields and more. And we're happy to have with us here today Agriculture Market Manager for ADS or Advanced Drainage Systems. Logan Chamberlain is joining us here on the program today. Logan, thanks so much for being with us. Great to have you here. Hope you're doing well.
Thank you, Jesse. Likewise, and thanks for having me.
Well, let's dive in first. And for folks who may not be aware, tell us a little bit more about ADS.
Mhm. So, ADS was founded in 1966, and we started within the agriculture industry, which is something that we are really proud of. We were the innovative champions for the corrugated plastic tile. Most folks have heard about drainage and using tile within their fields, and we were able to kind of change that market from, the old heavy clay tile. So trusted within total water management solutions. Farmers and contractors count on ADS to help provide fantastic products to get the job done.
Fantastic. Well, let's dive into some of those water management systems more. And just tell me a little bit more about some of the water management systems that ADS uses right now. Can you just explain that for us a little bit more?
Yes, absolutely. So, water management systems kind of encompass a variety of things, right? Like with most farmers, the right system for you depends on your field and your needs. So, across the country, a system might look a little bit different. But most importantly, for every single farmer and every single acre across the country, these water management systems can help farmers make more money. And the reason from doing that is having water in the right place at the right time and in the right amount. So whether it's too much water or too little water, we can't control Mother Nature. We want to make sure that we are giving farmers every single tool that they can possibly use. So each of the water management systems are tailored based on topography, soil type, what the end goals are if they want to do some water recycling as a farmer. There's a lot of different practices. Obviously, the most common is our pattern tile system. And something that we focus on here at ADS is truly that life cycle of a raindrop. And that starts with, capturing the water and conveying it through our lateral lines. And then, of course, holding it back. So thinking about, right, as it rains, what you do with it, evaporation, managing it every single step of the way. There's also some additional sustainability things that we can do with water management systems. That's including some saturated buffers, bioreactors, or even subsurface irrigation, right? We know irrigation is a very costly from financial as well as water across the country. And so being able to have a few different options to improve sustainability and make sure that farmers are getting the most that they possibly can out of their fields. What we say and what we've seen, through years and years of research is, water management systems and controlling that water as much as we can improve yields by up to 30%. So, right, that's accelerated drying, warmer fields, just a longer growing season as well, right? If you can get into your field, it's a little bit more consistent. There's no more wet spots. That's creating better growing conditions.
Very, very true. You mentioned sustainability. I want to touch on that in just a second, but one other point that you made as well that I think it can be an obvious point, but
Mhm.
something to hit on as well is just the fact that with ADS, you guys look at a farmer specific field. It's not just it's not a one size fits all approach because we know that you could go from one field, go across the road, and it might be the makeup might be just slightly different enough that you guys have to do something different. So that's a key point I think to make, Logan.
That's exactly right. And really, we say that we've got our top 10 reasons to tile that affects every single field. Everyone is, of course, focused on the number one, higher yields, that we kind of touched on. But something that I'm seeing a lot of too, in demand in the market is the higher land value that we can bring. So they don't make more land, prices are skyrocketing. You kind of have to make do with what you have. Or maybe, the ground doesn't look great, but it's all you can buy or all you can expand to. Tile is a great way to improve that ground, thus improving the value of it.
Yeah, a good thought there as well. All right, you mentioned sustainability. Let's touch on that a little bit more because that's been a big key focus. I feel like in agriculture the last few years. I know it's been a focus for a long time. Our farmers are great stewards of the land, but the sustainability conversations come up a lot more. Can you touch on that for us?
I definitely can. So you hit the nail on the head, right? Farmers are great stewards of the land, but somehow we're being pushed to do more with less. A fact that I have recently learned, and I think is really incredible. So in 1990, in order to match the production levels that we're seeing in 2023 out of our farmers, they would have needed an incremental 100 million acres.
Wow.
So something that just shows, right? Like we have done come so far and done so much with our ground and our production and what we're doing with our land. And our, sustainability and our water management systems are a big part of that and helping drive the industry forward. And we actually start with a recycled resin in our material. So we are really proud of the recycling efforts that we do. Using our recycled resin material, we are able to use 59% less water in producing the pipe, as well as keeping, 600 million pounds of plastic out of landfills each year. So a great sustainability factor on our side, kind of starting that ball rolling and then allowing farmers to, of course, implement their own conservation practices. And of course, it's durable and sustainable products to start. So farmers are feeding the world and making enough money for their farm to thrive, which is most important, right? Farm another year.
Yeah, definitely. That is the most important, feeding the world and being able to keep doing it. ADS was also announced recently as one of the largest plastics recyclers in North America. To your point about using recycled plastics, what exactly does that mean? Sounds pretty big.
It is pretty big. So we're incredibly proud of that. And we are continuing to dedicate dollars and innovate that space there. Of course, we want to provide a fantastic quality product to our farmers and kind of do our part. So we have two recycling plants that focus on recycling across North America. And of course, we want to ensure that we're hitting our highest quality standards. So we actually outperform our industry requirements with that recycled material, still in the three critical areas. So sometimes folks say, ooh, recycled, it sounds great, but does it still work? Yes, it does. We beat on every single one of our industry metrics that we are held to. So we're proud to, make those investments in the technology and innovation to support. And then, of course, give farmers that water management system, drive yields, get those healthier roots, better conservation practices. It's a win-win all the way around.
Well, if folks want to learn more about what ADS has to offer and have a conversation and more, I'm sure they could do that very easily. Probably going online would be a great place to start, wouldn't it?
They can very easily. So you hit it right on the head. Go to our website. It's adspipe.com/agriculture to land on the ag specific page. We've got a ton of great resources there that touch, more upon the top 10 reasons to tile, each of the different components of a water management system, and then most important, a way to find a rep in your county, get in touch and kind of talk through what's a water management system look like for you and how to get started.
Fantastic. Again, that website, adspipe.com/agriculture. We've been talking today with the agriculture market manager for ADS Advanced Drainage Systems, Logan Chamberlain. Logan, thanks for joining us on the program, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Thanks for having me, Jesse.